Hey, God bless you guys. How you doing today? I wanted to come to you with an encouraging message as we're going into this new year with an idea of making sure that our hope, our faith are supported by our habits. And so the first habit that we're working on this year is the habit of relationship, the habit of our relationship with God. And we want to make sure that we spend unrushed time every day with Jesus, to spend unrushed time every day with Jesus. This week, I was doing my quiet time, trying to do it in an unrushed manner. I get up, I restart the stove, I try to beat the kids up, I sit down with my Bible and my coffee. And as I'm reading this verse on my page, Mark chapter 6, verse 31, where it says, Jesus said, "Let's go off by ourselves to a quiet place and rest a while." He said this because there were so many people coming and going that Jesus and his disciples didn't even have time to eat. As I'm reading this verse where Jesus says, let's go off by ourselves to a quiet place, my kids are not even 7 o'clock in the morning. They're roller skating circles around me as I'm trying to have a quiet time with God. Let me tell you, it is not easy to find a quiet place to be alone and unrushed. It's something that we're going to have to work hard at. It's something that we have to discipline ourselves, that we have to work hard at. But I want to encourage you, it is a regular thing that we need. Maybe one day will be interrupted, but that doesn't mean that we don't plan it into our life and try to find that proper and that right rhythm. Some days it's going to be interrupted. I'm going to talk more about that on Sunday. Other days it's going to go perfect. Why is it so important to get this quiet time? Well, you know what? The storms are everywhere and we always want to hear from God, but in the midst of the noise, sometimes we miss the most intimate messages from God. There was a story in 1 Kings chapter 19 of Elijah after he had been discouraged. He had been in confrontation with his enemies, and he just sort of ran for his life, and he hid to get alone. And in the midst of this, God decides to speak to him, but he doesn't speak in the earthquake and the mountains shaking and in the storms and in the fire, but he speaks to him in a whisper. Look at what the verse says. 1 Kings 19, 12 and 13, it says, "After the earthquake there was a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. After the fire there was the sound of a gentle whisper. And the voice said, 'What are you doing here, Elijah?'" You know, sometimes God has things he wants to say to us, but in the storm we can't hear him because we're too busy looking at the wind and the waves and the chaos. And he wants us to quiet our souls so that we can hear the whisper. And in that whisper, Elijah got the encouragement that he needed. God said, "I'm going to send help. It's going to be okay. I am with you. You're not alone." But Elijah wouldn't have heard that message if he didn't get alone with God and endure the earthquake, the fire, the thunder, and all of the things. Psalm 46 verse 10 says, "Be still and know that I am God." Be still and know that I'm God, and I will be honored in every nation. I will be honored throughout the earth. And so sometimes we just have to say, you know what? I'm not the one that's going to solve all the problems in this world. I need to be still, and I need to be with God. I need to be still and just know him. Get alone with him. It's in the quiet that the most intimate of human conversations take place. It's in the quiet when we know that we're going to have time to finish these conversations. They're going to be unrushed conversations. They're quiet because we're not going to be interrupted, that the most intimate human conversations take place. And I believe that most of the time it's the same way with God. This is a quote that I have used for years and it's been so helpful to me, and I want to share it with you today. Mama Maggie Gobern said, "Silence your body to listen to your words. Silence your tongue to listen to your thoughts. Silence your thoughts to listen to your heart beating. Silence your heart to listen to your spirit. Silence your spirit to listen to his spirit. In silence you leave the many to be with the one. the words, the thoughts, the beating heart, the spirit, his spirit, the chaos to one-on-one. It's so important that we spend uninterrupted time alone with God so that we can hear from his spirit. Our mind wants to go to one place, our words want to go one place, our hearts want to go another place, but we have to silence them all. And if we do it as a daily habit, then we'll keep in step with his spirit. We'll have an incredible relationship. We'll be less led to go astray and more likely to stay on path. And on top of that, we'll have fresh bread from heaven to share with a hungry world. And so I want to encourage you. I don't know how hard it's been this week. I encouraged you to get up 15 minutes earlier than you have been. I don't know how it's been going for you, but my imagination is that it's been difficult. But I want to encourage you today to stick with it. Keep giving your best. Keep searching and trying to find uninterrupted time with Jesus every day. God bless you guys, and keep growing.